My whole central focus of this channel is to give something that people can relate to so they actually feel like they could do it too. People that are out here sharing all this advice and wisdom, but what have you done? It's hard for me to trust those guys. That's how I found my product, the Sleep Band, that I scaled to a couple $1 million in sales and then actually sold that store. You just go and look at what's already working. The proof is there.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to First Things First. Very special guest today, John Welch. Thank you for coming on. Nearly didn't happen.
Yes.
Nearly didn't happen, but we made it happen. You got a flight back home in a couple hours' time, so squeezed it in. Thank you very much.
It's an honor to be here. Like I told you before, I've seen a ton of your episodes with some of my closest friends. I'm excited we're going to have a great conversation, and I had to make the time for you.
Yeah. Iman speaks very highly of you, so I was like, I've got to find out more about this guy.
That's my brother right there. We were just hanging out today, actually. We played FIFA. I beat him. So that felt good, you know.
It made me laugh because I was looking at your stories and there was a picture of you and him in the desert, holding umbrellas because it was raining.
Yeah.
Like it literally never rains here in Dubai and you pick the time to come when it actually rains.
Yeah, I'm from Florida, so I come to Dubai, I had to bring the traffic and the rain. But we literally had we had dinner together in the desert at like 1 in the morning. It was like midnight, 1 in the morning, pouring down rain. And it was actually one of the most fun dinners I ever had in my entire life. There was no roof. We're just getting poured on, eating dinner. And it was honestly one of the most fun dinners I ever had in my life.
Nice, man. Is it been a successful trip?
Definitely. Probably the best trip I've had this year so far. Yeah.
So I know you've introduced yourself a number of times on podcasts about who you are and what you do. At this point now, how would you introduce yourself to someone who doesn't know who you are?
I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a man who's on his purpose, trying to become the best version of himself and documenting that entire journey with the rest of the world. And my mission, more than anything else, is to inspire the next generation. I want to make the content that I wish existed when I was younger and I was first getting started in my journey. I've also expanded a lot in the last year by bringing on the stories of people that I find interesting because I understood that there's only so much that I know, but I have this amazing network of people that are so much more smarter than me. So let me bring them on and share their stories. So really, I'm an entrepreneur and I'm out here on YouTube sharing my story and the stories of other people that I find interesting with the mission to inspire the world, you know?
How long have you been doing YouTube for?
I think I posted my first YouTube video when I was like 12 years old.
12?
Yeah.
That's pretty mad. Like how did that come about?
Well, I always wanted to become a YouTuber when I was young because I didn't really watch a lot of TV. The second I got internet connection and I found out about YouTube, I just became obsessed with YouTubers. So my mom actually had this like crappy Canon PowerShot camera and I would steal it from her and I would make videos myself. And then I would go on my computer and I actually pirated a editing software and I just started putting together little projects.
What was it?
I used to use Sony Vegas in the beginning.
Okay.
So I would watch tutorials, how to edit, how to make myself fly or like get hit by a car or like shoot fire out of my hands and stuff. I just had a love for it. I just thought it was really fun. Nobody else knew about it except for my neighbor and my mom. And I just put videos out all the time. We did skits, we did basketball videos, we did skateboarding videos. Pretty much any idea that I had back then, I just went out there and created it.
Yeah, I say that to a lot of people who are thinking about doing YouTube. You just got to just start posting stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, people see my channel now and how it's going, but a lot of people don't realize that I've been running this channel now for well over 10 years. Now, of course, the name has changed and I've bounced around through different industries, but I put a lot of reps in. You know? Yeah.
So what you were doing the YouTube videos at a very early age, what else were you doing? You had a few entrepreneurial, adventures.
Yeah.
Doing buying and selling a couple of things.
Yeah, so in the 8th grade, I made a promise to myself and I said, I will never work a job. I was living with my mom and I saw how hard that she struggled in her job just to make less than $20,000 a year. And that bothered me. That did something to me. And I realized for myself that wasn't what I wanted to do. And when I started to see kids on the internet making money online when I was young and I was in middle school, I said, I want to be just like them. I don't want to do what she did. I love my mom. I have more respect for her than anybody on this planet, but I don't want to do what she did. So I made a promise to myself in the 8th grade that I would never work a job. So all throughout 8th grade and high school, I was trying different business models. I tried to start a clothing brand, which did okay, but I didn't get rich off of it. I took the money from the clothing brand to try to start reselling shoes. Again, I made a little bit of money. I actually made my first $1,000 from doing this, but I wasn't making more than my friends who had jobs at the grocery store, the fast food restaurant, but I was continuously trying new things. I took the money from buying shoes to rent out the convention center in my city and hosted a sneaker trading convention for people to come and buy, sell, and trade. And that day was the day that I knew I was going to be an entrepreneur forever.
Mm-hmm. How many people came to that convention?
It had to have, I don't know the exact number, but it had to have been over 100. I think it was like 150 people there. And you got to understand, I'm like a little 16-year-old kid.
Yeah, that takes a lot of organization.
Yeah, I was a little stressed out 16-year-old that day for sure. But when I pulled up in the morning, there was a line of people waiting to get inside of this convention center. And I was like, this is crazy. The news was there. The local news was there. I did an interview with the local news channel as a kid, bro. And then I got into the event and I thought I was lit. I thought this was like the best day of my life. People were running around. Everybody was like, congrats, man. They saw all the work I had been putting in. The event comes to a close and we had a lot of cash because we were selling tickets in cash. And I just had this big old stack of cash. I was like, this is it. Like, I'm going to just be an event guy forever. I figured it out. But man, when we got back home, I started counting my cash. I had to put aside money for the venue. I had to put aside money for the DJ. I had to pay off my partner that I was working with at the time. And when I started looking at the money, I had no more money left. Yeah. I had a stack of cash. And then when I started breaking everything up, bro, I think I had like $100 in the end. And that was devastating to me. That was my first great failure in my journey. I remember that day I sat on the couch and I just cried, me and my mom. And she was like, nah, it's okay. Like, you did it. Like, it's okay. Like, don't be mad. Like, you did something amazing. But all I could think about was like, I just lost all my money, you know?
Why do you think it was a failure though? Because it wasn't, you didn't necessarily lose money. Like, you didn't necessarily make money, but you kind of...
Yeah, I didn't understand business and economics in the level that I do now. So all I understood is that before I did this event, I had about $1,000. And after I did this event, I had about $100. So to me,
I suppose when you're there and you see the cash and you feel it, and then you just have to say goodbye to it.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks. So after that, bro, I honestly like took a little bit of a break from entrepreneurship. I didn't end up getting a job right away, but I just did the high school thing, enjoyed my time there. And I found another love again for the videos. Mm-hmm. I started making a little bit of money doing music videos. I had people in my city pointing guns at me and shit while I'm filming a video just to make a couple bucks. I did a wedding video. Oh my God, that was the worst job I ever did in my life. But I just always been trying stuff, bro. I think the worst thing I ever did was I was doing tech support on Craigslist.
Oh, yeah.
I had a listing on there that said, I'll fix anything, anywhere. And people would just have me come to their house and just fix stuff. But I was like 17, so I was low-key scared I was going to get like kidnapped or something.
What was one of those jobs that you did that you felt like you learned the most from? Like a skill set?
Honestly, selling the shoes taught me a lot because it taught me the fact that I don't have to sell my own stuff to make money. Mm-hmm. I understood that as long as I could buy something, add some value to it, make it look nicer, I could make a little bit of a profit. And that was really the first time where it clicked in my brain that I don't have to make something. With the clothing brand, I had to make a product, I had to put my logo on it, I had to find blanks. But with this, I could just buy it, improve them, clean them up, take better pictures, and I could flip it. So that was a big shift. And also the videos. Mm-hmm. Honestly, bro, the skill of learning how to tell stories and edit videos is the thing that made me the most money in my life.
Did you just figure that out, or do you actually go and actively learn how to storytell?
It's a reps thing, you know. I think it's just a matter of making as many videos as you can and also learning about it. I would just watch other YouTubers. I would watch movies. I'll watch TV shows and just try to be conscious of like, okay, this is the storyline, this is the climax, this is the villain, this is the protagonist. I just love the art of storytelling. Mm-hmm. I think that's like one of my most favorite things in the world. And that's the thing I feel like that has made me the most money.
You know, with the shoe thing, how did you even begin to decide where you're going to get the shoes from in the first place?
Well, there's like this crazy subculture back in the day on Facebook of people that used to resell shoes. So one thing that I've always done in my journey is I find whoever's doing the thing that I want to do and I figure out how I can get in touch with them and learn from them. So I found somebody that was in my city that was making like a couple $100 a week selling shoes. So I just bothered him all the time until he got back to me. And I was like, what do you look for? What type of shoes do you buy? What's the best first shoe to buy? And for me, that was what shortcut my learning curve. Mm-hmm. When I started doing e-commerce down the line, I found somebody that was making $500 a day and I just blew him up until I can get in touch with him. Even now, bro, my channel with 1 million subscribers, I'm bothering my friends that have 10 million subscribers to roast my thumbnails and titles and hooks. Like, so I've always been trying to find whoever's a little bit ahead of me and learning from them. So I saw other people doing it and I felt like I could do the same.
Who are you closest with that's got the most subscribers?
Me and Iman are super close. I know a lot of other YouTubers as well, like Ryan Trahan, Eric. There's another guy that I really like named Phidias. He's like somebody that's been hugely helpful in my journey. I know a lot of YouTubers, some of them big, some of them small, but I talk to those guys probably the most, more than anybody.
You know what's mad now? I think just the competition out there. Not only is there's more content creators, but the levels of the quality when it comes to thumbnails is crazy. Like when I started my channel, I was just taking screenshots of the actual video and just being like, hoping for the best.
Yeah, it's true. The levels have gone up a lot, but I feel like YouTube is actually coming around full circle. Like the biggest YouTubers that I see, like some of them, like I Show Speed or like Kai Cenat, they do the same thing. They just screenshot moments of their video. Yeah. I think YouTube is making a shift to now focusing on who can build the biggest community and the most passionate audience, as opposed to like who can just make the most fast-paced, clickbaity, rapid-fire videos. You know, who can actually build an audience of people who want to show up every time they post.
Yeah, how would you define a strong YouTube community? Just the people that are commenting, or just having consistent viewers per video?
I think it's a matter of having a mission that people can get behind. So I think if you have something that you represent through your story that people can relate to, they're going to follow along and watch whatever you want to watch. Like it could be a really positive thing, or it can be on the other side. Like for example, like Full Send. They are getting the audience of people who want to party because their mission and their brand relates to those people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think for people like, even like Hamza you had on your show, he has like the whole Jeffrey versus Adonis. Like people want to be like Adonis, so they want to watch this guy so they get along with that movement. That's sort of how I like to look at it. It's like who has a movement or a mission that people can relate to and they're going to follow along. But I'm still learning this myself.
I think the difficult thing with me is because I've been around for a while now. I've been putting videos up 7 years, nearly 8. And over time, I think your mission changes a little bit. As you evolve, so does the channel in a sense. And I think I got to a point where I was like literally lost. I was like, what is it that I even do now? Because when I first started, it was all about the fitness stuff, like just purely helping people build muscle, lose body fat. And then it kind of transitioned into like doing like travel videos for a bit. There was still like an element of fitness. Then like the vlogs. And I think now if I look at like the past few videos I've done this year, it's been very sort of vlog focused and entertainment focused. And I kind of moved away from doing the education stuff, but I want to come back around to doing that more, I think.
I think for you, like as somebody who watches your videos, I think people connect with the fact that you are somebody who's on their purpose. Like you're a healthy guy, you make money, you have a good lifestyle. Like people want to live like you. So they're going to watch your every move so they can try to get to that level.
Yeah.
You know, but I feel you, bro, because even for me, like when I first started blowing up on YouTube, I was just documenting my journey of dropshipping and building my store. And I wanted to sort of reinvent that space on YouTube. That was the mission of my channel. I was like, I'm on a mission to document my journey of building my dropshipping store with as much transparency as possible. I used to say that in every single video. But now if I said that in the beginning of the video, it don't make no sense, right? Yeah. What I say now is just that it's another day, another W, like another chance to get the most out of the day. And more than anything, I'm just trying to inspire the world with my channel. Like that's sort of the statement that I'm on right now. But I feel you, because it happens. Like when you level up in your life or you change your path, that's got to follow up with YouTube. A lot of people burn out because like if I was still doing the same dropshipping videos I was making from 2016, I would probably hate YouTube right now. But because we're constantly trying to push the bar, I think it stays fun for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I always underestimated how much time we need to put aside to actually thinking about the ideas for the videos. Because especially recently, I would pick up the camera and just go out with Chris and just hope for the best. But still gets views because I think people are just interested in what I'm up to. But I feel like if I put more planning and strategy into it, the views would double or triple.
100%. But that goes with anything in life, right?
Yeah.
Like the more effort, the more reward. Like I always see a direct correlation between the effort I put into a video towards the views that it gets.
Has it ever been the case where you have put loads of effort into it and it's just flopped?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Especially when I was first starting. But now I feel like we don't hit on every video, but I feel like I know the ones that are going to hit the hardest, and they usually do. But sometimes we drop a video, I think it's my favorite one, and then it goes 10 out of 10, which is like our worst performer. And nothing hurts more than that, man. That's really a bad feeling, bro.
It sucks. Especially you put so much time into it.
It's part of the game, though. It's all good. Even we had a video actually recently that did that, and it was one of those ones that I thought was going to do good. But those type of experience are good for me because it shows me that, hey, you need to keep sharpening your blade. You need to keep getting better. There's never a moment where you can copy what worked in the past and just keep repeating that.
So tell me about drop shipping, because I don't really know anything about it, to be honest. Like, if you are going to explain it to an absolute beginner, how would you summarize it?
I would basically say that we're finding the products that's already selling out there on social media, and we're selling them for ourselves.
But so selling on social media or selling anywhere?
So
is it already selling on websites?
So my strategy and the way I made all my money with dropshipping is simple, right? I look for the products that's already making money on Facebook specifically or Instagram. I try to find.
How do you know if it's making money?
Oh, just look at the engagement, right? If it's got a ton of likes, if it's got a ton of comments.
Also, like if you see like an ad.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if something's going viral and people are in the comments tagging their friends saying, I want this, I need this, I want to buy it, that means that there's interest in it, right? What we do then is we try to find a supplier that can handle that product. Now, nowadays, you don't have to use the old methods of 2-month, 3-month shipping times. There's a bunch of suppliers out in China that can send products around the world in just under like 2 weeks, sometimes 10 days. So we find those suppliers and we build a store and we launch ads for ourselves and see how those products do. It's sort of like testing the products until you find the one that works, and then you could double down and build a brand off of that product. That's really what I did. That's how I found my product, the sleep band, that I scaled to a couple $1 million in sales, and then I actually sold that store last year.
A couple mil
in sales, yeah, off of a product that I found on a Facebook ad, literally just scrolling, So I don't try to reinvent the wheel and find something brand new. I look for what's already working and I give it a try for myself. Now, to be able to do that, you have to build your skills. You have to know how to make websites. You have to know how to edit videos. You have to have a little bit of an understanding of copywriting. But the best part about finding what's already working is that you can sort of just model your approach off of what's already working for them. That's been better for me than any marketing book or copywriting video or any type of sales training. You just go and look at what's already working. The proof is there,
So pretty much all of the traffic is coming from the paid ads.
Yes.
So in a sense, anybody could do it.
Yes, for sure. I think there's a lot of methods now to build your store. There's like free methods like organic TikTok, but I like doing paid ads because I have control over it, right? If I post organic videos, the algorithm is sort of fully in control. Yeah, I can control how good I make the video and stuff, but when I have paid ads, I could really refine who's going to see that video, what that video looks like, and exactly how much impressions and traffic I want to push towards that. So Facebook ads changed my life, honestly. Facebook ads is what made my first $1 million. Learning that skill set is what got me on my feet financially.
Do you think most entrepreneurs should learn the basics of it?
100%.
Because I've paid people to do it, but it annoys me because I still don't fully understand how it works. And I don't know if they're doing a good job, like a really good job, or if they're just having my life.
Yeah, it depends on what business you're in, right? But for me, ads have been able to not only grow my e-commerce business, but also my software business. And even my parents, they have a barbecue food truck, and ads have been able to help build their business. So I honestly feel like it's one of the highest value skills. Like how much you pay this company to run your ads for you?
When I was working with one of them, they were charging a flat monthly fee of $4,000.
Yeah, exactly. So even if you could just master this skill set and offer it to other businesses in your city, like restaurants or barbers or dentists, you can make a ton of money. So for me, I feel like learning how to run paid ads is one of the best skills you can acquire.
So I'm trying to figure out how you did this. Not that I want to get into it, but just because I want to understand how it works. So you're like, how did you even get the idea that this is something you wanted to do?
Dropshipping.
Yeah.
So in 2017, I had no money. I was this business kid, like I told you, in high school. But by the end of high school,
the business kid with no money.
With no money. All my friends that used to work at McDonald's had more money than me. So I had to go to college. My mom supported me all the way, but she was like, listen, you can't just live here after graduating high school with no money. You have to go out and do something. So all my friends around me were going to college. I felt that pressure, and I ended up going to the only college that accepted me. It was like a local school close by. That first year of school, honestly, it was not the best period of my life. I really wanted to just get back into the roots of building a business, but I was so focused on class that I couldn't. So I made a promise to myself and I said, once this year of school is over, I'm going to use this summer break to build the business that allows me to drop out. And people always ask me, they're like, what were you studying when you were in college? I was like, I was studying how to drop out. So once I got in my first summer, I just spent every single day, I would stay up as late as possible and just worked and worked and worked on building this business. I saw people on YouTube that were doing it, and I felt like if these guys could do it, there's no way that I can't figure this out too. I already knew a little bit about editing videos. I knew a little bit about making websites. I just had to find a product. So that's when I got down that process of learning Facebook ads and starting to test a couple of different products. And by the end of that first 3 months, I had found my first profitable product, and I was making enough money at that point to say, okay, I'm not going to keep doing school.
Was that first product the sleep thing, or was it something else?
No, so see, when I first started back in 2017, I was selling everything and anything because I didn't really understand the game like I understood it now. So any product that I could find that was making money, I would sell it. Like I sold some musical instrument, like this ocarina thing from Legend of Zelda. I sold bracelets. I sold a knife sharpener. I sold like sandblasting tools. I sold lunch boxes. Any product, this is what I said, any product that I saw going viral on the internet, I would just try it out in my store. And the mistake that I made back then was I would launch these products, they would make some money, and then they would die off just a couple months later. And that's inevitably what happened. Even though I had made over $1 million in sales from this business, it wasn't sustainable. It didn't last for the long term. And going into 2018, like I had stacked up a little bit of money, but the business was sort of on like a downward trajectory.
This is just because the popularity of the products just fluctuate. Like all of a sudden, they're just not.
No, it's just because I never doubled down on any of these products, right? I kept them on what's called a general store. So a general store is where you basically have all different types of products. Think of like a Walmart, right? And when I had a product that was working, instead of turning around and building a brand out of it, I just kept it on that store. You know what I'm saying?
So you could have made a completely separate website selling that product and then maybe other products relating to that product.
Exactly. And that's what I did with the sleep band. And that's what allowed me to make a couple $1 million in sales. That was the big shift that I had. So I made a little bit of money from that first store, but I lost it all. And then I used...
How'd you lose it? Just the overheads?
Yeah, so that's a story in and of itself. So in 2018, I left my hometown. I had stacked up a little bit of money, and I always wanted to move to LA. So I moved to Los Angeles in 2018, and I just started kind of neglecting the things that got me there. I started spending more. I stopped working on the dropshipping store as much. I doubled down on YouTube and kind of like the whole coaching course business, and I just started living that LA life. And, 2 years later, it sort of caught up to me, and I ran out of all the money that I had in my savings, and my e-commerce store was completely down bad. There was no more store at all. And
you say that was because you maybe didn't understand like money as much as you could have done, like being financially literate?
I think it's just being a young kid from not having any money, getting his first taste of it, getting a little bit more of an ego and just trying to like fulfill that. Maybe a young, insecure kid even at that. And
how old were you at that point?
21.
Yeah.
20, 21, just starting to make a little bit of money.
Well, I'll leave it at that because I know you have a flight to catch. Definitely. So where can people find you?
Well, just check me out on YouTube, man. Jordan Welch. Trying to post a couple videos every single month, sharing my story, sharing the stories of other entrepreneurs around the world. And brother, thank you for having me on this channel, man. I watched a bunch of the shows. You had some of my best friends on here and you smashed it. So thank you.
Nice, man. Thank you very
much. Appreciate you, bro. Oh.